Hi everybody, I'm Jim Soviak, the Associate Director of iCater here at the College of Education at the University of Iowa. And today we're going to look at another app for our app webinar series. Today we're going to look at this one right here. It's called Write PDF. And the gist of this is what this lets us do is it lets us annotate on a PDF that you already have, or it allows you to take something else and turn it into a PDF. I don't know that that's really what we want to do for our purposes. For our purposes, we want to have something that you're able to take notes on in the classroom when an instructor hands you a PDF or a PowerPoint or a Word document or something. You want to be able to take notes on that. Write PDF is one of your options. Write PDF is $9.99 in the App Store. This is what it looks like when it comes up. I think the interface is a little bit clunky. It's not the easiest thing in the world to use. We look over here, we can pull things from our email, calendar, web pages, contacts, images, clipboard. This here shows us the local files that we have access to on our iPad. Here's the local files that we currently have access to on here. This is the important piece up here, though, is this places on and cloud servers. If we tap on that, that's going to show us what it's connected to. So you can see it's connected to your local files, these shared files with Write PDF for the iPad. We can also connect to Dropbox and iCloud, or if there's others that you want to connect to, you can hit this plus key and you can add others as well. You can see we can add several different things. Google Drive is on there. SkyDrive for Microsoft is on there. Pretty much any way that you're sharing things over the cloud, you're going to have access to with this Write PDF tool. So if you want to access what you have in Dropbox, you just go down here, tap on Dropbox, and you're going to see your Dropbox pop up, and it'll take a minute for this to populate with everything that exists in my Dropbox. I guess you don't really need to see that anyway. It's still working, but because I pulled down something earlier into my local files, and we've got that there. So this is what this looks like when you have files stored locally on your iPad. Your PDFs, you can see they have the PDF icon there. They've got a little bit about kind of what the beginning of that PDF is. We're going to go ahead and open up this chapter 19, and we'll show you how this works. So again, this is how it's going to look when we open it up. I'm going to scroll to where we have some actual text in the PDF here. There's where the beginning of the PDF is. We've got the default is that this piece that shows us what we have access to stays open over here on the left side. If we want to get rid of that, we can hit this little button right here. This is our full screen button, and that's going to get rid of what we were looking at over there, so we can look at strictly our PDF. I have this in a sideways, or the as you can see, the horizontal mode, landscape mode here. So that's why it's showing up this way. If we look over here, this is kind of the important piece to deal with here. This is the Tools button. When we tap the Tools button, we're going to see some tools pop up on the far side of the screen. Over here on the left side, here's our toolbar, lots of different things that we can do with this PDF now. So if our instructor gives us a PDF, we want to annotate on it. The key kind of button that we're going to use is this one right here. It's that pencil with the little line. Tap on that. We're going to see a lot more options appear here. Here, this squiggle is going to allow us to write notes on this, so we can write, this is a test. And you can see it connected all of that together. You can see that as because it's highlighted in blue. All of that's highlighted in blue. That's activated now as kind of a one-piece object there. And you can see there's a few things that pop up here. This is the line weight. So if we tap on that, we can see we can drag that. It's at 3 right now. We drag it farther to 30. It's going to stick in that line, and we can't really see anything at 19. So we'll take it back down to something smaller. We can change. Next to that is the color button. If we change that, if we click on that, we can change this. We can choose whatever color we want out of this color scheme, and hit done, and it's going to change that color for us. If this is not what we want, we have that little garbage can there. Tap on that, and we can get rid of it, and it takes it away for us right there. There's also an undo button over here that we can use to take away whatever we just put on there if there's a mistake. So if we go down this list, I'm not going to go through everything here, but you can see there's square, rounded corner square, I suppose, or rectangle, circle, oval, line, connected line that's not necessarily in any form of a shape. We've got an arrow here so we can take and point to something that's important. If we want, you see now that we've got this on here, if we've got that arrow, if we take 2 fingers, we should be able to, rotate, but it's actually moving other things around here. We're supposed to use 2 fingers, and there we can, I'm using 2 fingers right now and rotating that arrow around, or widening it. I suppose we can widen it, zoom in on it, shrink it, you know, whatever we wanted to do with that. Same thing applies with this. It applied with some of the other stuff. If we tap on it, we have access to changing the line weight, changing the weight of the head of the arrow, changing the color as well. You know, pretty standard stuff there for annotating. We can also type. We hit that little A button there, tap on here. Here's the text that we can edit. I believe, let's see if we can, let me see if we can do, I think what this is going to allow us to do, if that's not what I want, let's scratch that. We may be able to actually edit text in a PDF. Let's just try something here. Let's select, I just want to select teacher, so I'm going to tap and hold on here. I'm going to drag that over the word teacher. Well, I'll drag the top piece across to the front of the word teacher, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to hit the little A button there and see if we're able to do anything with that. It looks like we are not. It looks like this is just going to allow us to edit. Oh, there we go. We can edit text and just type. I'm going to remember this for the test. Then we can add that. You can see that adds directly into our PDF. Now, I guess where this becomes, you know, and why this is listed as editing text here, we're done editing. Now you can see that's popped up in here, is because when we're done with this, if we save this, we can turn this into part of the PDF from our iPad. And that's really the big selling point that they make with this, is that we can make changes to PDFs like this and save it from the iPad. We don't have to, we don't have to export it to save it, I suppose. We can save it from here. We can send it directly to a printer. We can send it back to the cloud. I'm just going to trash what I typed there and see if we can get rid of that again. And we'll just undo a couple times here to get that. There's lots of edits in this. There we go. That's done. We can also add a signature here in this the signature piece. We tap where we want to add our signature. We can sign in this, and then hit done, and you're going to see your signature pops up there. So if you need to fill in a form with a signature somewhere, we've got that that option as well within our Write PDF. We can add notes to this PDF as well. This is something that might be helpful in class. Tap where we want to add the note, and then we can add our note in here, hit done, and you're going to see that it pops up on the PDF as an annotated note there. So we've got that component attached as well. We can add pictures, so we have access to our camera roll. We can pull something off the picture here. Let's pull up a picture of maybe this, because it's talking about something we're doing at iCater. We can pull up this poster, say that's important. We want that imported onto our PDF as well, and we'll put it up there. We can add pictures to this if we wanted to also. The other option that we've got with this is if somebody's talking about something that's important in class, I'm going to just zero in on this area here. We'll zoom in. We can actually highlight or strike through something if we want to edit it as well. So if we wanted to highlight this sentence, we can tap and hold on a word. It's going to highlight that word, and then we can drag to the level that we want to highlight, and then you'll see what pops up here is we can copy this. We can highlight it. We can put a strike through, or we can add a hyperlink. If I add the highlight, it's going to highlight that whole piece. And since we're looking at columns here, it looks like it went across the 2 columns. You can see we can change color with it as well. You know, that's the gist of this program. I think there's other things that do this just as well. This may not be one that really is designed for education. I think we can do pretty much the same thing and more in a class setting if we use something like Notability, where we can pull in a PDF and make annotations on that from our Dropbox. But you know, this is something that does what a lot of people want it to do. We can bring in these PDFs, we can bring in a Word document, we can annotate it, we can convert it to PDFs if we want to also. So I'm just going to go back to the main screen. If we wanted to save this and convert it to a PDF, we'd press this button up here that says Write PDF. If we wanted to print it, we'd press this and send it to our printer, and we'd be good to go. We could do all of that directly from our iPad. That's about all I've got for you today on Write PDF. If you want to see more about this, if you want to learn more about some of the other app webinars that we've done, you can always go to the iTunes store, the App Store. You can download the iCater Toolkit for free. Everything that we do gets archived on the iCater Toolkit. We also put up an assistive technology tip of the day. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to email me at james-stachowiak@uiowa.edu or give me a call at 319-335-5280. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll